Dan Hurley, Eliel Salvatores, and Aaron Grimm. The honorable mention member. Buckeyes going to try to get and block early. Captains on this Ohio State team. One of them right there, Shane Wetzel. Service error for the senior out of Lake Mary, Florida.
Service that sometimes it comes with an equal amount of service errors.
Well, it's two sides of the same coin. He led the team with 53 last year, and that did Wetzel. He had 93 service errors.
Expect a high amount of service errors, but that's still an area that Coach Birch wants to see his team clean up.
Hurley's serve back. Punch up by Latkowski, but that block of the middle. NJIT still know that your serve receive is so important. You win points on the serve receive, and that just boosts your confidence going forward. And Eliel Salvatores comes back and gets the point right back for the Buckeyes, 3-2.
Standing middle blocker for the Buckeyes. He has since graduated. Last night, Salvatores had 3 kills, but he'll probably pass that tonight with already 2 under his belt as things get started.
An error for him on that belt. Salvatore had 166 kills last year at Lincoln Memorial. He also did it with a...
Now, if you hear some dogs barking in the background, it is dog night, because I can hear them. It's dog night at the Cavelli Center, so fans were allowed to bring their dogs in to watch this great volleyball matchup. So we've got some all surrounding us that are cheering along.
Henwood Rodriguez up to Wetzel. Second time around, stopped by Tidhar. Reset, far side, Novak. But they give an attack television screen to the top left side. His head and shoulders are way above the top net.
He's definitely got the height advantage.
You understand where the saying head and shoulders above the rest of the competition comes from nowadays. Backline, Hurley. Point Buckeyes. Just a season ago, before he had a season-ending lower body injury. But in those 4 matches, he had 27 kills in 12 days.
Coach Birch said having him back is going to make such a difference for the Buckeyes.
Push back over. Buckeyes save. Back on the attack. That's Haczynski. Moorhead tosses it over. Up in the middle, Aaron Grimm gets involved.
Players involved in their offense, and that's one of the things Coach Birch said heading into this season. It's some of the best team chemistry he's seen, and he said they don't always have to be together off the court, but he says they're always spending time together, really growing that bond, and it's showing. Second game in the season.
They go back to Haczynski. Goes Cavelli Center in Columbus, Ohio on Big Ten Plus. Santa Wilford.
By 6, 7, 8, but Ohio State started to pull away just a little bit, and he wants to break up that momentum.
Strong serve by Henwood Rodriguez off the hands of Alacia. Buckeye reset on the free ball. Henwood up to Hurley. Saved again. Over at the far side, pushed by Moorhead, and he gets the point off the Gonzalez. He said this is his first year playing, and he is technically a junior in academic standings. He had ACL injuries and had surgery, and Coach Gonsalves said, I hadn't seen him play since AAU in high school, since before the beginning of the season. He said, hey, I haven't seen this in a long time. Good to see you back out there and already getting involved early.
Yeah, it's great to see players come back from injuries like that, and his whole team so happy for him to be back. Coach Birch does have some questions for the down official, though.
Interested to know what it was, because Andre Alacia, it was a clean hit, top to velocity or the upwards hit of the ball potentially. Now just a 2-point advantage for the Buckeyes, 7-5. And Wood Rodriguez, too far over. NJIT will take advantage. Figueiredo, set up, Bobkovsky. Far side for Tidhar. Flip back, Novak. And the Buckeyes get the point. Not only is he just such a force offensively, but defensively, as we just saw right there, he can help on both sides of the ball.
He can do everything, and we already talked about his serving as well. Talk about serving.
There's Haczynski.
Now he was so impactful as a freshman, so it's amazing to see what he'll be able to do now that he has a year of experience under his belt. He's from Poland originally, and Coach Birch just gave him so much credit for how he adjusted last season to 18-7.
And you even look at the on-court expectations for this season. Birch expects a big season, especially in the growth in serving and passing. And we saw one good serve, and then, of course, the error on the opposite side of things. But, again, we've talked about that happening. It's kind of part of the game of men's volleyball.
Yes, it's to be expected, and there's the defense as well from Hachinsky.
Oh, my. Punch over and saved Aaron to try and defend it. And talk about the Polish roots as well for Hachinsky. He and Victor Novak grew up together in Poland and are actually really good friends. So them going against each other this season and last year as well helps their friendly rivalry.
Yeah, Coach Consalvis gave us that little.
Alicia's last kill, keeping NJIT in it. Highlanders only down 3. Off Hurley. Back to him. Right into the breadbasket as well. Alicia couldn't stop it.
Hurley gets his second.
Hannah, you might be noticing this as well. The last few seasons, without Jacob Pastor, who was one of the spearheads for this Ohio State program, as there's an ace for Wetzel, is that the love has been spread around offense. It seems like more team-led volleyball now that we're seeing from Coach Birch.
Exactly. There's a lot of offensive depth, which really works the advantage of the Buckeyes. A little bit of miscommunication there in the back row from Wetzel and Hachinsky.
Parker Moorhead just found an open space.
Yeah, Hachinsky.
Alicia back. Did he get that back corner? Yes, he did. An ace for the freshman.
And these are some of those errors that Coach Birch said he wants his January volleyball. This is what you can expect early on, and that's what these early non-conference games are for, having a chance to clean up those errors.
Hachinsky right off the defense. The Buckeyes, who had won last night against an opponent that was not the difficulty level of number 2 Hawaii. Another service error for the Buckeyes. It's 13-10.
So the Buckeyes have 4 service errors already. Here's a good thing, though. They do not have any attacking errors.
7 per set, so if you go to 3, you get 21. You're beneath the average. But again, just the beginning of the season. Salvatores with a hard serve. And better pinpoint accuracy.
A great job of breaking down Ohio State's back row. Buckeyes have been a little stagnant in the back row.
Novak with a curveball, and it's within 2.
A lack of effort to receive it.
I mean, those are about as difficult as they can get. We were down on the court itself. Another curveball and another ace. And we're watching them as, of course, we're trying to protect ourselves, not successfully get it off the ground.
Yeah, and just like that, NJIT is within 1 point of Ohio State.
Novak keeps that one up. Buckeyes would like to answer back with a point, and they do. Stanislaw Hachinsky played in every single set yesterday. Had an assist and an ace to go along with the dig. Top of the tape, keeps it up. Off the shoulder, and out of the reach of everyone. The first set specifically. In the first and second match, Ohio State only won them by 2, and they had to go over the 25-point threshold. Curveball serve saved alive. You can hear NJIT.
NJIT, they're very vocal in their communication, and that's something the Buckeyes have been lacking a little bit, that communication in the back row.
Down save from Drew Hudson. Too strong from Alicia.
15 players on their roster. In comparison to previous seasons, they had 21. So that was a change they were required to make by the NCAA.
Smack down Alicia again. Going back to that 16-man roster as well, we asked Coach Birch in a follow-up, and said, how does that differ practice? How does that differ game plan? He said, you know, in all honesty, we would love the 21, but how to win a title.
Yeah, he said the reality is everybody is one spot away from the starting lineup.
Yeah. There's some trickery. Daniel Latkowski, the middle blocker, doing his own. The freshman setter. High-topping serve to the Buckeyes. Let up in the middle.
Ohio State is going to call a timeout now, their first.
At the beginning of the week. Would love to take the first set against the number 14 team in the country, and instead they turn it over on a service error.
One ace on the day, but he also does have a service error as well.
Going to give himself a lot of running room for it, and he adds another error. Andre Alacia, the freshman outside hitter. Keeps it in off the hands of Hudson. Back to Wetzel, and he's got it.
Themselves a little bit with some errors, but NJIT, that's not to take away from what they've done. They've been able to place the ball both with their attacks and with their serving in some great areas that have had Ohio State struggling.
Hurley with a good serve in his own right. And Moorhead, he's done that multiple times. Find good spots, but too far over on the fingertips to Salvatore. He said, hey, you're standing too close. That ball's going to go right past you. Got bailed out on one. Hurley got it over, and Moorhead gets his point that time. Tied at 20. Daniel Latkowski is the offensive-minded middle. And they'll flip it back over to the Buckeyes.
Ohio State has 5 so far, and so does NJIT. So when you think of it that way, they sort of cancel each other out.
NJIT does have one more ace, 3-2 in that column. Trying to capitalize here. Right?
Might not have the height that some of the attackers have, but he still does a great job blocking, as we just saw there.
And a timeout taken by Coach Gonsalves middle.
NJIT used their final timeout of the set. So they just have to play this one through.
Slow one from Salvatore's, and it worked. Normally you use that as a way to...
Salvatore has had a great first set so far, 2 kills and an ace, so he's contributed 3 points to the Buckeyes.
Tried to get another ace there. Instead, it was so powerful it went back to his side. And set it up for Hurley. Behind the back save for Lopez. Over the top, off the hands, and a point Buckeye.
Lead at 1 point, but the Buckeyes took their lead back and are looking to close it out here.
Right into the net, service error. 1 ace, 2 errors for... Novak tried to sneak it and didn't get it, and gives the Buckeyes the set point.
Fighting back, they were led by Stanislaw Haczynski with 4 kills in set number 1. They did an outstanding job.
Just based on the way they're playing, you would have no idea that they, got off a plane yesterday or 2 days ago, were in New Jersey for 1 day of practice, and then hopped on a plane last night to fly to Columbus. I mean, their turnaround, 5 matches in a week is almost unheard of.
And that wasn't an easy flight. Hawaii's a long ways away, so I'm sure they had a little jet lag as well.
Wetzel got the first point, then right into the net. A credit to anybody, strong enough to be able to do that flight, let alone when the average team height is, 6'5"? I was going to say my leg room normally isn't enough, and I'm, 5'11" on a good day. Alacia flips sides. Just joined NJIT this spring semester, so spring of 26. In his first collegiate game at Hawaii, he had a double-double, 10 kills and 10 digs.
Yeah, he's doing an amazing job. Originally from Brazil. His first semester of college ever, and it's off to a great start.
Big rally saved by the Buckeyes. We'll see if they end with the points. They do most while talking with Coach Birch. Said that he's going to stand out the most, and his upside, I mean, is just so incredible. He can play both the opposite and near side of the pins. He's 6'8".
And like you said, he
Uber athletic, like right there.
Yeah, he's showing it. Buckeyes couldn't.
Well, then you even go back to the difference of a 21-man roster to 16. Having somebody like Hurley being healthy is so crucial to the success of this Buckeye team. Henwood Rodriguez, slow floater to Haczynski. Back over Moorhead. And they give the points to NJIT. Certainly the happiest with his team's defense. Breathe a little easier after an error like that one.
And they caught themselves down a couple times, only by 1 point in that first set. Here they are down 2.
Salvatore is for the second straight service error. And now it makes so much more sense to hear from Birch that we have to limit these errors. Just because when your defense doesn't have to move a muscle and they get a point and the ball back, it only makes it easier. NJIT trying to make it a little difficult. Wetzel to the open court. That's the definition of an out-of-system offense. Normally it's the setter, Daniel Henwood Rodriguez, setting it up. Haczynski's an outside hitter. He had 42 assists last season. So as much as considered out of system, it might be a trick play. And Hurley with a dive save. Same with Tidhar. And out of the way of the defense. Even at 5-5. Line drive right to Alacia. Set up Latkowski. And Novak palms it. Not only does it hurt, but it goes out of the playing field. A soft one that worked in favor of Henwood Rodriguez. Field, sometimes it happens so fast you don't realize what happened. It's more of a nervous serve, you'll see. Back over Novak. Saved again, reset. It's a 6-10er, hits it again right to Henwood Rodriguez. And Wetzel strikes. 8-5 Buckeyes. So far he's been pretty successful. Off the top of the tape. Just off that back corner. Nine to 6. Haczynski, who had 40 aces last season, collects another one here.
Absolutely dominated that one. I mean, it's just so difficult to get underneath a serve like this. He has so much power. No,
not at all.
During warm-ups even, so they're probably not even going full out.
Haczynski with an error. By the way, that was his second ace of the match so far. And no, you'd be very correct. It's not a fun time. Goodness. Not today. Not today.
Not today. No, not today.
Just making it clear. But it's happened in previous seasons. Great save from Ron Tidhar. And the dual block for the Buckeyes. Hurley and Wetzel collect it.
Only 3 attacking errors across the entire first set, and here almost halfway into the second.
Grimm threw a curveball. Alacia pushed it down, and the Buckeyes are back offensively.
Their biggest area of struggle has been on the attack. They have 12 kills, but they have 9 errors. So they really have been inconsistent at the net.
Off bounce hit off Haczynski. Hurley tried with 2 hands.
Now Hurley's back to serve.
Downward stop from Moorhead. Up top again for Alacia. Saved by Hurley. Wetzel over. Alacia stopped it. Right back to him. On a soft dive, it couldn't be saved by Hudson. It's only happened once in program history for a reason.
Yeah, it's a huge honor. And as a libero, being involved in almost every single play, he's doing a great job so far. He has an assist in 5.
You got to give it to NJIT. They saw that one coming, let it go. And as much as they're down 4, they're playing this even closer, like it might be a 1 or 2 point set here. Some trickeration back to Haczynski, but it didn't work. Defense holding Jones, the freshman middle for the Buckeyes, in as well. He faked it and left it alone for Haczynski.
Haczynski gets his 6th kill. He now leads. And 2 assists. How about that?
Got something all across the board. Ace for Hedwood Rodriguez. Another athlete with a very strong athlete. About it a little earlier. He's, not the tallest guy on the court itself. He's still 6'3". He's still tall in normal standards.
He's very tall from normal standards. It's just when you look out there.
Of course, setting up as well. But he's got enough of that height that if he wants to trick one over, he can do it. Talk about the opposite side of the coin. Here's Victor Novak standing 6'10". And a service error.
Hey.
We'll see how the serve receive looks. It looked good there. Kept alive by Moorhead. And he played in 1 set in that last match at Hawaii on the 4th of January. He starts him off with a curveball. Saved by Tidhar. Out of system and back into it. Fake up, Haczynski to Hurley.
Exactly. It's a tough balance of wanting to break Ohio State's momentum but not wanting to kill your own team.
Uranyuk set it up. Alacia ran into a wall. Buckeyes have
in. Ohio State took set 1, 25-21.
Novak right to Henwood Rodriguez. He didn't even budge. Fake off the shoulder. Latkowski saves it. And down for Salvatores. A kill for the junior. The defense for the Buckeyes has shown up exponentially here in set 2 as they're up to Brady Jones to get the final point of set 2. Up Uranyuk, back down. Buckeyes save it. Looks like a dual hit from Salvatores. They do give Ivanovic in for the first time tonight. See if he can bring some spice. His team down 7. Defense keeping him alive, and it helped him.
Set point in the 2nd set. I've been really impressed with their effort overall here tonight.
Especially with their backs against the wall. They're not playing like they're down. You see that right there. Just let the cards play where they line. It's working so far. And that error from going to go get it. Here's Wetzel. Small pushover from Alacia, and the defense snuffed it out. Tied it 2. The aces to error differential is about 50%. That was Ohio State's 11th service error. They have 5 aces. NJIT 4 aces to 12 service errors. So they were more like 30%, but now it's a little higher. Sometimes you see teams getting to points like these, Hannah, where they somewhat lay down and let some of the freshmen get in. I don't believe we're going to see that at all from NJIT, just with how close they've been playing today. And especially when you get an error, the point back and the ball back, all you need is one good shot and you're up by 2.
Yeah, it's competitive enough that I think they're going to stick. with pretty much their experienced lineup, and even Ohio State has not started to make too many substitutions yet.
Alex Hines with his first serve of the night. Up for Haczynski. Off his fellow countryman.
He gets his 7th kill. Daniel Henwood Rodriguez gets his 19th assist of the match. He's been excellent. He really emerged last season for Ohio State and became their starting setter, and he's very reliable. Like we've talked about, he's athletic, great at the net.
Can help defensively as well. Set up Figueiredo. He didn't get too much on it. Now back to Henwood Rodriguez. He was only 22 assists away last season from 1,000. He had 22 assists last night in the first game of the season. I mean, that just shows you one more match in the season, and he might have gotten over that 1,000 threshold.
Yeah, he was amazing, and I think he has such good chemistry with all the attackers, not only last season, but this year as well. And you can see how much connection he's formed with Haczynski going from last season to this season, with Shane Wetzel. And now with Hurley, who didn't get as many reps last year, but you can see that they connect as well. So that's the most important part of the setter, is how do they connect with the other players on the attack.
Parker Moorhead just collected his 7th kill of the evening. An error from Victor Novak. He's tied at 7 with Haczynski. That leads tonight's match.
22 kills from the Highlanders, 23 from the Buckeyes. And again, that difference is if NJIT could have converted a few of those 13 attacking errors into kills, that would make such a difference. That could have been the difference in set 1.
Jump back in front of the line from Moorhead. Could not get his 8th kill. He ran right into the defense. This is a very crucial point here in set 3. The difference between being up 2 and 3 may not seem like a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, could be the quote-unquote beginning of the end of the set. But no budge from head coach Danny Gonsalves.
Coach Gonsalves said, a game against the Buckeyes is all about how do we respond to a team that's overwhelmingly good. And that's what he told us heading into tonight. That was their mindset. And I think they're responding really well.
I think what you see most teams doing, and as there's a service error there for the Buckeyes, is they get into these nervous clusters where you'll give up a few points, have a service error, an attack error even, and you stop playing your game, which whatever a team's game is, you know, you hear the coach speech, your game or our game. Ohio State is dealing with much of the same thing. Coach Birch said, we're trying to make sure that some of our younger guys can get into those situations and then out of them as quick as possible without making those errors. NJIT has already settled into that mindset of we're going to play our game regardless of what the score and set is. And it's helped them so far. They're within 3. And now 4. An ace for Stanislaw Haczynski.
Like we said, Haczynski did such a great job last season of just not only adjusting to playing in the U.S. and learning English and everything, but to that college volleyball here in America. And he had all the experience in Poland.
Speaking of another Polish athlete, Victor Novak, who's played with the Polish national team, just collected another kill.
Just another moment where the Buckeyes are a little still on their feet in the back row. And we've seen that a handful of times, and that's something early in the season where those are areas that they can improve.
You don't see it very often, but could this be a situation where if that or those still feet continue, Birch would take a timeout with the advantage?
I think he might. I think, you know, he was all about limiting errors, and he doesn't like how many errors they had last night, despite sweeping Central State.
You get an ace to go their way. An excuse me play from Andre Alacia.
But with this big of an advantage, 5 points, I think Coach Birch is
He'll
just going to
probably
let
let it play. Yeah. But I think it's much of the same for Coach Gonsalves. I mean, arms folded. You guys can see him on your screen over there in the blue polo. He is not really budged from that position, and rightfully so. Alex Hines collects a free ball kill.
You know, he said, his words exactly were, it's better to get our butts whooped by a great team than to not have competition. And I would even argue they're not getting their butts whooped.
Not at all.
They're playing a great match against Ohio State, but he welcomes this kind of competition and sees it as a learning opportunity for his team.
When you look at just the difference in this one, is a strike down from Salvatores finds some open hardwood. It's a difference of 10 points between the first and second set. If you look at the errors, there are 16 service errors and 15 attack errors. If you cut out half of those, you're within 2, if not 3, at the end of set 1 and 2. Over the top for Hurley. Punched it down from the roof.
6 kills from Daniel Hurley, 6 from Wetzel, and then 7 from Haczynski. So Ohio State off.
And a good time to use it. No touch.
There was no touch. So that call was overturned. NJIT gets the point now. Makes it a 4-point game here in the third set. And they get to keep their challenge card, so they still have 3 to use. So that was an excellent decision by Coach Gonsalves to pull that challenge card.
Most people don't realize either the difference between 19 and 20 points in the third set. When you're up 2-0, a team like Ohio State might decide to either go with their all-attack lineup or their all-defense lineup, depending on the situation. Now, you give up another point on the attacker we just saw, and you're forced to play defense on a team that wants to be attacking right now. So they're a little bit uncomfortable with it being as close as it is.
Yeah, 3 points, and both teams still have both of their timeouts to use. That timeout that was earlier in the set was the media timeout, so both teams still get 2.
And much like I kind of assumed, Ohio State goes with their attack-heavy lineup. They take out the libero, Drew Hudson, and bring in another middle, Eliel Salvatores. And NJIT brings Ron Tidhar, their libero, back in. So a switch-up, defensive to offensive. And the defense still works for the Buckeyes, regardless of the lineup.
Buckeyes have reestablished their 5-point lead.
Brady Jones back in to serve. Flat-handed serve gets over. Tried to do a little tip drill to the opposite side. Alex Hines didn't put enough behind it.
It was the right idea, too, because that spot was open, but he just didn't quite get it over. Ran across the net.
That light finger push you sometimes see over. Sometimes you can get a defense to work. It would have worked if you really just had the power. And Alacia gets it. Haczynski was going to have a difficult time to get that one.
And it probably would have been out, but Haczynski stuck his arm up and got a touch on it. And again, those are those communication issues in the back row that Ohio State has had.
And also in a blink of an eye, it's right towards you, and instinct reaction is to just kind of throw something at it.
Yeah, you have to make that decision, split decision, if you should get a touch on it or let it go. And that's when your teammates yelling in or out really is necessary.
We heard that a lot earlier from NJIT.
Yeah, their communication has been great.
Set up for Uranyuk. Novak hits it over and saved by Haczynski. Back for Hurley. Saved by Hudson. Push over. Saved. Back again and off the arms of Henwood Rodriguez. Alacia wins the rally for NJIT. It's a 4-point set. Urinyuk, a service error. And now the Buckeyes just need 2 to take it. When we talk to Coach Birch, after you have those rallies that don't go your way, sometimes you see this Ohio State team not crumble, but they go away from the game plan. I did not see that there. They stayed locked in. Luckily didn't have to move because of the error, but it looked like they were ready to field it regardless of what was happening. Wetzel off Tidhar. And the push down worked from Victor Novak.
Both teams with 28 kills on the night.
Buckeyes kept it and collected.
Shane Wetzel, wow. I can't believe he kept that one in play. It was landed perfectly.
And that was the third and what would have been final touch. So Wetzel had no choice but to hit it.
And he hits the line cross court and keeps it in.
Oh, man, that's great.
To get his 10th kill.
Buckeyes 1 point away from taking it. And they'll have to wait a bit longer. Hurley's got another service error. That's his 4th. Hines over to Huczynski. Salvatore has tried to push, but he caught it right to Fedmasu.
NJIT right in this one again, which we have said every set. I mean, set number 1, they fell 25-21. Set number 2, 25-19. And here they are again, 24-21. They actually have a chance to score the most they have all night if they can convert on this point.
Odd hit from Huczynski, and Hedwood sets it up for him. A dive off the arm of the freshman Alacia, and that will do it. The Buckeyes sweep NJIT in 3 sets and start the season 2-0.